I want to talk to you about how to confidently prepare for a speech. And this is really important. We put a lot of emphasis on the delivery or the moment of public speaking itself, but the preparation process is really the thing that is going to set you up so that once you step on stage, you will really be able to put all of your attention and energy on connecting with your audience and delivering your message. So let's make sure we get all of those technical things out of the way ahead of time. The first thing I'm going to ask you to consider is your mindset. How are you entering into the process of development or creation of an idea or a speech? It is real easy, especially, for example, if this is your first paid speaking opportunity, if you're giving a TEDx talk, if you have to deliver an all-company presentation, to place tremendous consequence around success or failure in that moment. And ultimately, a lot of that is speculation. That is about our worries and our fears. So notice if your mind is shifting into this place of consequence or high stakes, and challenge yourself to lower the stakes. Think about a way that you can make it a little bit more enjoyable and a little bit more fun for yourself. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, as you go to develop your speech, I'm going to encourage you, and this will feel very different than what you're accustomed to start the creation process out loud and on your feet. We tend to go straight to the keyboard, straight to the computer. And I'm going to encourage you to think differently. Here's why it's important to start the creation process out loud and on your feet. The first thing, it is going to create muscle memory around the content rather than just mental memory. So when you get up to deliver the speech, you're not trying to think about what you memorized. You can actually communicate what it is that you've internalized. So start that process from the very beginning of getting it in your body. The second reason why it's important to prepare out loud and on your feet is because it's going to allow authentic language to emerge. So when you sit down to write it, it'll be highly intellectualized and you may come up with the most amazing way to say something. Is it an extension of your authentic self? That will ultimately make it easier for you to communicate and a lot more interesting and engaging for your audience if they feel like it's really your voice speaking to them. So it'll just make it so much easier in the long run. So start practicing out loud, on your feet, write it down, take notes, take those key ideas, have them work in tandem, but that muscle memory component has to be integrated from the very beginning. Once you sort of talked it out loud, the third thing that you're going to consider here is identifying your central or essential why. Throughout the course of the speech, what is the one thing that everything is anchored on? That will allow you to have a sense of flow and connectivity to all of the ideas. So as you're practicing, you can sort of be propelled into the next idea because it's all leading up to the same thing. So make sure that becomes your driver as opposed to saying it right, getting the right words out. Connect to the thoughts, not the words. The words will come, and that is an important piece of the puzzle, but the thoughts are the things that are going to drive you. That is sort of the intention or objective behind what it is that you're trying to say. The fourth thing, when you practice, so now you've talked it out loud, you've distilled it, you've established your central why. When you go to practice, I want you to practice in 3 ways. You're going to practice once for speech. So literally thinking about how you say the words, how you're engaging your facial muscles, how the sounds are coming out, when you pause, when you want to go up in tone, when you're feeling like you want to shift the tone of the talk overall. Practice for speech. Then you want to practice for commitment to the material. So you have this really technical way of practicing, which is all about sort of those technical aspects. Then you want to practice to actually stand behind what it is that you're saying. So really commit to something. What is your essential why? Why do you need them to hear it? Really play around here. Go big or go home. It's going to set you up to really saturate your message when you get on stage ultimately. And then the third way you're going to want to practice is for the content itself. You want to make sure you're really embodied in the flow. You understand how the thoughts are propelling one another forward. It feels intuitive to you so that when you get up on stage, if you forget a point, it will be in your body or you know how to get from one point to the other. So speech, one, so all those technical elements, the commitment of it, so how you're standing behind your big idea, how you're showing up, and then third, for the content itself, so to make sure that the flow and all those ideas are there. Then the last piece of this puzzle, to bring it all to life and to really make sure that you are prepared to deliver in the moment when you're called to rise to the occasion, practice in front of a challenging audience. This can be anyone. This can be a kid's birthday party. Our founder, Taylor, goes to the gym and delivers his talks when nobody's listening. So find a challenging audience. Maybe it's your, aunt who never gives you any positive feedback. Practice in front of a challenging audience. It will allow you to understand how you feel maybe resistant when feeling confronted or nervous, and how you can sort of condition yourself to move through it. So those are my recommendations. Go forth, prepare with confidence, and we'll see you on the big stage.